Hello, my name is Dan Hickel and I will be your son or daughter's astronomy teacher over the next semester. So this video is just designed to give you a little bit of information if you're not able to make it to parent night. Obviously, the course is astronomy. My name is Mr. Dan Hickel. A little about me, I was born and raised in St. Paul, Minnesota. I've been here for about 4 years and have been teaching here mostly ever since. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Chemistry and Physics Education with a Master's in Secondary Sciences. I've been teaching for 6 years total. This will be my third at Marino. And I've taught in everything from chemistry, physics, astronomy, biology, you name it, I've probably taught it. The essential question for this class is pretty simple, but doesn't need to be too complicated. What's really going on when we look into the night sky? Obviously, kids know that there are stars, they make different patterns, but there's so much more that they don't know yet that we're going to talk about. So the class overview as a whole, we're going to cover four or five main units depending on how much time we have. The first will just be chapters 1 to 3 in the textbook. Second unit, a little bit smaller. Unit 3, chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9, which is all about the solar system and planets. And then unit 4 is all about stars. The grading scale is pretty standard. Tests are going to be worth 25% of the total grade, homework 15. Projects, I'll try and do as many projects as possible just because I like giving students activities that make them look deeper into certain concepts than a standard lab would do. Participation is going to be 10% of their final grade, and then the final exam exhibition will be 20%, so fairly standard for a high school class. Some of the goals: learn about planets, stars, and galaxies, as well as the science that makes it possible. There's going to be a lot of physics discussed in this course because so much physics is going on in the universe that, of course, we have to talk about it. Focus on activities, labs, and projects to help reinforce the readings in class discussions. I'm going to try and do as many different labs or activities as possible because there are some really cool ones in astronomy that I want to try and do. So I promise they won't get bored. We're going to go on field trips to see how the information is used by professionals. I'll talk about field trips in just a minute. And then we're going, lastly, something that I like to do in this class, relate what we talk about to ancient Hawaiian navigation and the Hokulea, just to bring all these concepts a little closer to home. So more about the field trips. We are going to be going to the Bishop Museum Planetarium at least once this semester. I try and go as much as administration will let me. But the planetarium is really cool. It only costs $5 every time, and there are 3 shows that I like to take kids to. The next one is a trip to the Kessa Observatory. You might have heard your son or daughter talk about this before. This will be the 4th time we do it. It is tentative at this point just because some details still need to be worked out. So there's a chance we won't go, but I will do my very best to make sure it happens just because I think it's so much fun. Usually while we're at the observatory, 9 different astronomers will bring their own telescopes and kind of explain how they work to each and every one of the students. So it gives them real hands-on. They can look through the telescopes, see different stars that they research. We've seen the moons of Jupiter, we've seen the rings of Saturn, all in this one trip. So I'm really hoping we get to do it again. Here are just some pictures from the past trip. Everyone usually bonds pretty well over the weekend. So couple group pictures. We go on hikes during the day since the observatory is only really accessible at night for obvious reasons. So we went on the Nepali Coast hike, saw cool different sights. And then at night, this is a picture of where we are at the observatory. That's Roz Reiner. She's one of my main contacts over there. You'll notice that some of these telescopes are pretty expensive. And so being able to play with them and look through them and learn more about them is really exciting for the kids. Here's another picture of some of the telescopes that we get to play with. And then we do have one big telescope that we get to look through. Here are some of the pictures that they've taken at the observatory, some of the stuff that the students have seen with their own eyes at the Kessa Observatory. So we have the Pleiades, we have the Milky Way galaxy, and I'm not really sure what that one is, but it looks pretty cool. Other than that, if you need to reach me, I'm always going to be here in room 107 before or after school. You can give me a call. My number is 952-7283. Otherwise, email is probably the best way to reach me. It's pretty standard, daniel.hickel@marinalschool.org. I do have an Edmodo account that I'll be posting all the slideshows and things like that. You do need the passcode. It's just 53P9IT. It is on your child's syllabus, so if you'd like to enter it and follow along, you're more than welcome to. Other than that, that's all I have for you. I'm really looking forward to working with all of your sons or daughters this semester, and